Jai Hind everybody, I am Dr. Rashmi Sharma working as an associate professor in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. Today we would be discussing some of the important topics of Unit 4 of Data Analytics which runs in BTech third year, IT and CSIT department. The topics which we would be covering is frequent item sets and how they are being clustered into it, then mining frequent item set, then what do we mean by market basket analysis and how we apply a priori algorithms on them. So the keywords are frequent item set. We will identify the frequent item set based on the support, and the confidence helps in identifying the mining rules. A priori and market basket modeling. So coming to the association rule, why do we require these particular things? First of all, like assume that I go to a shop to purchase milk. How many customers which when going to buy a milk also purchases bread and butter or egg? So we have to identify what all items which come frequently so that we can keep them side by side, and even if I forget to purchase that particular thing, if I look into that particular item in the grocery store or in that particular shop, I would be able to identify that I need this and I will pick that particular item. So that is called market basket analysis. We identify the shopping patterns of a particular customer or a set of customers, and after identifying those particular parameters, we look into it that we suggest the other customer also to purchase the same type of item. Very trendy nowadays when we go and purchase some items on Amazon. Whenever I purchase something, for example, assume that I purchase a MacBook Air 2 on the Amazon. So definitely it would suggest me that you can take a 1 year AMC or an extended warranty of 2 years, which would be, they would be having a package of a specific amount. Plus I can purchase a AirPod, and then again if I require some connections to be done, then a pen drive connector also or a converter also, so that I don't have any problems. So the Amazon which gives that particular suggested list in between, when I combine my MacBook with that particular 2 years extended AMC, then what would be the price they would be offering, or if I combine with my AirPods, what would be the price they would be offering, and even if I combine all these three, what would be the prices. These are suggestions which they are giving it on an online option. Definitely this example or this particular study came when there were physical market or physical shops. So this is called association rule mining, is a very popular rule. Definitely is an unsupervised learning technique because it depends on time to time. Like if I have a season of Holi, then definitely the colors would be the main things which I usually have on 70 to 60% of shops, even a small shop which is beside my house. Or when it is a Diwali season, then I get a crackers nearby my shop well before 20 days. So they have that particular thing. It is an unsupervised learning, but again we learn from that particular trends which are coming from back. Like in winters, a month before the woolens come into the market. When there is a summer, month before, even though the winter is a pleasant winter is going on, we get that particular summer items in the shops or the malls. That is, it is an unsupervised learning techniques. Then it is used in business to identify the shopping patterns. Definitely, as I discussed, it is also what all things I am putting in my basket to purchase. I am analyzing that, so it is called as market basket analysis. Whenever you are going to any shop which is a big one in a mall, then you have a trolley, a basket with you, in which you put all those items which you like. Even when you are going for apparels, you try those things, whichever you like, you put into your bucket and reject which you don't like it or which don't fit to your budget also. So this is called as market basket analysis. I am identifying what goes well with this. Like we gave most of the things in Reliance Trends. If you purchase 2 t-shirts of same price, then you will get 100 rupees off. So all these are tactics to have this analysis, and when I analyze it, I keep those items together also. The items helps in identifying interesting relationship or affinities between the items or the events. Definitely, as I told, Holi is coming, then we would have colors. If summer is coming, you have summer clothes, light color clothes in the shops. So it can be the items also which we keep in that particular or particular events which are being organized as per the Christmas or the spring seasons and holy seasons and so on and so forth. So thus it can help to sell cross related items and increase the size of the sale. Definitely by giving the discounts we can increase the or keeping them together. Even if I don't have that in my back of the mind, but I see, yeah, this is useful for me, I should purchase it. So it becomes increase in the size of the sale. Then how these particular rules are used for mining the data from it. All data used in this technique is catalogically. Category wise we are dividing it, like I told you, milk, bread, butter, eggs, or cookies, or I can have ketchups also. Then definitely there is no dependent variable. All are independent variable. If I have a bread in my house, I won't go and purchase even though it's kept near to my milk because I have that item. Or if I don't want to eat all purpose flour and they only have that particular bread, they don't have a brown bread, I won't purchase it. So all these are these items are independent of each other. It uses a machine learning algorithm. Definitely, as we told, that it uses an unsupervised learning algorithm. This technique accepts input as raw point of sale. This is the main thing. As the transactions we are coming, if I went and purchased 4 items, if a person 2 went and it purchased 6 items, so that raw data, input data from that point of sale, the transactions are being taken and then we work on that particular data. The output produces description of the most frequent affinity among the items, what 2 particular items should be kept together. An example of the association is a customer who brought a laptop computer and a virus protection software also brought a extended service plan like 2 years AMC. Plans 70% of time, so only 30% of time this particular rule fails, otherwise they go for that because they get in a lesser amount than for a 1 year one. So another example is a customer who brought a bread and milk also brought butter 80% of time. So the business rule is, in business environment, a pattern or a knowledge can be used for many purposes. In sales and marketing, it is used for e-commerce site design, online advertisement optimization, product pricing, sales promotion configuration. I discussed all this when I gave the example of Amazon and we are selling that particular item online, giving them combinations. This you can buy this also, this can go well with this, so on and so forth. So we can give a product pricing also, you will give a discount when a combo is being purchased. The analysis can suggest not to put one item on sale at a time and instead create a bundle of products promoted as a package, which I discussed, package to sell other non-selling items together. So in retail environment, it can be used for the store design, like in a big bazaar if you go. So they design it that the store is designed. I have home accessories here, kitchen accessories here, kids here, toys here, shoes. So we design that accordingly. And we at a single place near the counter, we have small items which are frequently used in our kitchen or when I have a little kid. So all these particular shop designing, store designing is done with this particular market basket as an analysis using your association mining rules. Strongly associated items can be kept closer, tougher for the customer convenience, like bread and butter and eggs. Usually you can remember that the bread also have a egg corner near that particular bread section. Or they could be placed far away from each other so that the customer has to walk the aisles and doing so potentially exposed to other market. If I have a small store and then I usually keep them aside, when I have usually a big store and those particular 2 items, if I keep far apart, then you will go from one place, one section to another section, and in between you will visit different sections also, which can give you idea that you have to purchase, or the price is economical, you can purchase that particular item. So how we write these particular rules? The generic rule is written as X. This is the case when I purchase, Y is definitely purchased. I purchase Y. What would be the probability when I purchase? What would be the probability that I purchase Y when X is being purchase. So X and Y are the products and services. X is the left hand side, that is the antecedent. So I purchase this. This is been purchased. What would be the probability? Definitely that I would purchase Y. So Y on the right hand side is called as the consequent. Support, how support is defined as how often X and Y go together in the total number of transactions. Practically assume that the total number of transactions, if total number of transactions is given by N, that is 12, and X is being purchased in 6 transactions. So how long Y will go out of this? So X and Y, how often X and Y go together in both the transaction, that is I would see the count of X comma Y both going together upon total number of transactions. So support is given by the count when X and Y both are going together divided by total number of transactions. The confidence is how often Y goes together with X. That means the confidence, this is called as support. Okay. The confidence is how often this particular, so that is support of X comma Y when both goes together divided by support of Y. So I have to purchase Y along with the X. So there are total transaction out of 100 products. X was bought 80 times and the product X and Y were bought 60 times. So support is your 60%. The association rules is given by 60 and 80, 75. So here, as I told you, the frequency of X and Y going together divided by frequency of N, your frequency of X and Y going by frequency, because we have purchased this. How often I would purchase this? I have purchased milk. Now I want to see, do the person will purchase butter. So butter becomes Y, but X is definitely purchased. I have that X in my cart. How often I will purchase that particular Y, that is butter also in my, I would have butter also in my cart. So how long, if other persons, other customers who have purchased milk and butter together divided by total number of transaction, and here milk and butter along with your milk frequency. So not all association rules are interesting and useful, only those that are strong rules, that is if I have more than my confidence, then I will use that particular. So we in association we have minimum support and minimum confidence. All those transactions which are greater than or equal to that minimum support, greater than or equal to would be taken into consideration. Same with greater than or equal to the minimum support would be taken into consideration. The resulting set of rules are all the same irrespective of the algorithm used. That is, given the number of transaction T, a minimum support and a minimum confidence, the set of the association rules existing on that T will uniquely determine that. So the algorithm, most commonly used algorithms are a priori, Euclid, then FP growth, that is frequent pattern growth, along with the various derivatives and hybrids of these three. So we would be discussing a priori algorithm in detail. So a priori, this is the most popular algorithm used for association rule mining. The frequent item set is an item set whose support is greater than or equal to the minimum support. So the items which are greater than equal to minimum support, we will take that into consideration. The a priori property is a downward closure property, which means that the frequent item sets are also the frequent sub item sets. Okay, I have the space here. If my frequent item set has milk, butter and bread, means the subsets milk, the subset butter, the subset bread, the subset milk and butter, the subset milk and bread, and the subset butter and bread all are frequent item. This is a downward closure. If this is a frequent item set, then definitely it is a downward closure. This milk individually, butter individually, bread individually, along with the combination of milk, butter, butter, bread, all these would be frequent item set. This is called as the downward closure property. Thus, if ABCD is a frequent item set, then all its subsets thus as ABC or BD are also frequent item set. So, thus uses a bottom-up approach, and the size of the frequent set gradually increases from 1 item set, then 2 item set, then 3 item set, and so on as the, because in real life I have n number of items which I can make it. Group of candidates at each level are tested against the data for the minimum support. So, this is the flow chart. We start, read the items from the transaction, support for every item is calculated, and if it is greater than the support, then we keep it insert into the frequent item set. If no, then we remove that particular item. Then again, when it is in the frequent item set, I go for the confidence, find the confidence for all non-empty subset. Please keep this into, all these are non-empty subsets. Non-empty subsets, see if confidence is greater than equal to minimum confidence. If it is greater, then we will insert this into strong rule. If no, then we remove from that particular subset. We would be using this particular, taking one example. See, I have this particular example. Here total number of transactions are 12, and these are all raw data. First, we will identify in how many transactions I have milk, in how many transactions I have bread, in how many transactions I have butter, in how many transactions I have egg, ketchup and cookie. I usually use a method of tally which we have done in our 8th and 9th grade. Like milk, in first, I'm taking first transaction. It has milk, bread, egg, bread and butter. Next is milk, butter, egg and ketchup. Then bread, butter and ketchup. Then it is milk, bread, butter. Then bread, butter and cookie, then milk, bread, butter and cookie, then milk and cookie, then again milk, bread and butter, then bread, butter, egg and cookie, then again milk, butter and bread, then again milk, bread, butter, milk, bread, cookie and ketchup. Now count these values. This is 9, 10, 10, 3, 3 and 5. Okay, this was the question. And the question tells that we have a minimum support of 30%. So 30% is 12 ka 30% is 30% of 12 is 4, and confidence is taken it to be, it comes out to be somewhat between 12 is a 36, 3.6. So we will take as 4 as a transaction support. So that is on the upper side I am taking, I won't take a fraction value, and the confidence is given to be 60%. Okay. So for this particular, what all datas which are more than 4, less than 3.6, it won't be valid. So this is not applicable, this is not applicable. All these 3 comes into our frequent item set. So here see 9, 10, 10, 3, 3, 5 which we have taken from this tally. So these I have the support was 3.6. 30%, 3.6. So for 3.6, we are taking approximately equal to 4, not 3. So these 2 items won't come in my frequent item set. So in the item set 1, it would come milk, bread, butter and cookie. So now I have 4 items, milk, bread, butter and cookie. Now I will make two groups. I have milk, bread, butter and cookie. So one is milk bread, one is milk butter, one is milk cookie, then bread butter, bread cookie and bread butter cookies. So all these combinations, and again we will see into this, when this milk and bread, here it is coming together, milk and butter is coming here together, bread and butter is coming here together, bread butter. So all these, here the combination is milk bread also, milk butter also. Here I have milk butter, bread butter. I don't have a bread ketchup. Okay. Then milk bread, milk butter. Bread butter. Then I have a bread cookie also and butter cookie also. Milk bread, milk butter. Then bread cookie, butter cookie. Bread butter also. So all these combinations we will take into consideration and count it. Again I would have 77393. Again support was 3.6 approximately equal to 4. So I won't consider these two particular transactions. So to a frequent item set would be milk bread, milk butter, butter cookie. All those greater than 3.6 comes into this. So I have 4 items. Now for these 4 items, the distinct element are milk, bread, butter and cookie. The same items which I was having. Here I made 2 item set. Now I would be making 3 item set. So taking milk, bread, butter. See this is the first one. Then milk, bread, cookie, the second one. Then bread, butter, cookie, the third one. Milk, bread, cookie. I had this milk, butter, cookie. Then again we will see the combination. Here I have milk, bread and butter. So I count this. Then I have milk, butter, but again ketchup no. फिर bread, butter and ketchup no. Milk, bread, butter, the 2. Bread, butter, cookie. Yeah, I have this combination. So we take this into consideration. Milk, bread, butter 1. Then bread, butter, cookie 1. Then milk, bread, cookie 1. And milk, butter, cookie 1. So I have many combinations in this. Then milk, bread, butter 1. Bread, butter, cookie 1. Then milk, bread, butter 1, milk, bread, butter 1, milk, bread, cookie. So we count this. Again we see, look into the support. The support was 3.6. So that was approximately 4. So this and this does not satisfy. The most frequent set of 3 items is only milk, bread and butter. Okay, so this is the half portion which we have done. We have identified the frequent items. Now we will go for the mining rules. So here rule comes is 3 items set, the maximum which this is called as the I. So this is milk, bread and butter. So I have milk, bread and butter. Now for the downward closure I have to look into all those particular combinations. See milk, then bread, then butter, then combination milk, bread, milk, butter, then bread, butter. All these are non-empty frequent set. So this was the downward closure property which we have used here. Now we have to define the association rules. How? For every non-empty set S, this is the S value which I have, this is I. So for S tends to I minus S, the support of I is divided by support of S. See the support of I, how we calculated the support of I? The formula which I here, support of I is frequency of x comma y upon n. So it is would be frequency of I upon total number of transaction, and here the support of S would be frequency of S upon total number of transaction. When I divide these two, n cancels out. So I get a value of frequency of I upon frequency of S. This becomes a very simple formula to calculate the confidence here. Okay, those frequency of I, this converts to frequency of I upon frequency of S. And I have to check if this is greater than minimum confidence, then it is a valid rule. If not, then it is an invalid rule. So here, now I will take all these one by one. If I take milk, the main set was my milk, bread and butter. So I minus S, if I take milk, I minus S comes out to be bread and butter. So where the person who purchases milk, will he purchase bread or butter? So I have to see what is the cost. Support is 6 by 12. Here the frequency for this particular thing was 6. So support would be 50% all through that particular thing. So it is satisfying. We had support of 30%. So support is given by 50%. Then for confidence, the support of milk, bread, butter divided by milk. So that would be frequency of milk, bread, butter divided by frequency of milk. See the frequency of milk, bread, butter. The milk, bread, butter was 6 and frequency of milk is 9. So it comes out to be 6 by 9 and 6 by 9 C is 66.67, which is greater than 60. That means this rule is valid. When a person would purchase a milk, he would definitely purchase, he may purchase bread and butter. Then we will take for bread. When he is purchasing bread, will he purchase milk and butter? Again, the support is 60%, 6 by 12. For confidence, thus all through this particular question, thus the numerator would be 6. Only the denominator would change. The support of bread was 10. So 6 divided by 10 gives me 60. That is equal to 60. Then this rule is also valid. So when a person purchases butter, what is the probability that it would purchase milk and bread also? Again, the support is 50% and the confidence is, the support of this is 60 and butter was 10. So 6 by 10 is 0.6. So when now I take two groups, milk and bread. So I minus S comes out to be, when milk and bread is together, then only butter is there which needs to be purchased. So again, support is 50% and the confidence comes out to be this 6 divided by combination of milk and bread. See, milk and bread combination, I had a value of 7. So that would be 6 by 7. 6 by 7 is 85.7%. So similarly, we will look into all those particular rules. You can have one more example which you can try on this. So this was the solution for that particular question. What are the advantages of a priori algorithm? Definitely it is easy to understand. No rocket science is there. Very easy calculation, count, tally and look into it. If it is satisfying the support, then we go into it, the frequent item. The support helps in frequent item and the confidence helps in the mining the rules. If it is valid or not. Mining rules, validity, valid or not. So the join and prune steps, this is called as the join and this is called as the prune steps of the algorithm can be easily implemented on large data set. These are the two advantages. Disadvantages is the a priori algorithm works slow compared to other algorithms. The overall performance can be reduced as it scans the database for multiple times. As I told that I am looking for one item set, two item set, three item set. If I have 10 items, then I have to go it for 10 times. The time and space complexity of the a priori algorithm is 2 raised to power d, where d depends the horizontal weight present into that particular databases. So coming to the end, we have discussed what do we mean by market basket analysis, how we use a priori algorithms in Google also, in normal your grocery shops also, for shop designing, for purchasing, for giving a combo package. Then how the frequent item sets uses the support to identify the frequent items and the mining rules uses the confidence for doing. And next, the advantages and disadvantages of a priori algorithm. So these are the references from which I have taken this particular slide and the numericals. You can go through it. Thank you for this video.